It's time to Get Real with Eddie, here to help you understand the changing real estate market and meet your real estate goals. Over 19 years in the business. 2018 Realtor of the Year of Three Rivers. Past president of the Three Rivers Association of Realtors. Director at the Illinois Association of Realtors and team lead of the Ruettiger Group at Baird Warner. Here's Eddie Ruettiger.
Welcome to Get Real with Eddie. Here in studio, of course, is none other than Nancy Vallee from the Ruettiger Group at Baird Warner. Nancy, how are you?
I'm with Baird Warner too.
You are
and
with Baird Warner. I am dragging today.
Oh.
Last week was a long week, I have to be honest. We were downstate with all the other real estate agents from the entire state of Illinois because there was our winter meetings and I had board of directors meeting. So I am still exhausted from last week. It's been just crazy.
The cold doesn't help.
No, the cold doesn't help. So especially with the AIDP, because let me tell you, when I was down there, it was like 4 degrees, and I was getting chills and sensations again. And they've been gone for like a week or two.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so they were minimized, and now the cold's got it back up. So it's kind of crazy and weird. And who knows? I got about 6 more months of healing. From what I understand, growing nerves is a hard job.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a hard job.
It is a crazy job. So, also, Roberto Villarruel is with us from the Ruettiger Group at Baird Warner, of course. I got the Baird Warner right this time. So
I think it's pretty good. Yeah, last time you're doing pretty good, man. That's really
and
good.
I got the name right this time.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other part. So, I don't know why. I've done so many different weddings, so many different cultures. Your name trips me up more than anything.
Well, you're making progress, that's for sure.
Progress is always a good thing,
yeah.
Let's be honest. So, all right, let's get right into it. Buyers want to know why the housing supply is still low. So, getting into the market right after the new year, we're still seeing multiple offers, craziness already, and it's only January. So there's a couple of reasons why they're looking at this. Nancy, you had 2 weeks ago, I want to say it was, you took a contract and an offer on a property, and it was multiple offers.
Yes.
And craziness.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, so...
And we were involved in a multiple offer crazy situation on a buy side as well. So I've been on both ends of that, and there's multiple offers out there everywhere still. Yep.
Yeah, and people don't, they think, oh, it's January. It's not happening. It is. So here, one of the first reasons, new home construction fell behind for several years. And we've talked about that on the show multiple times, how, we averaged about 11 million units, and we only, per decade, and the last decade, we only built about 6.5 million.
Yeah.
So we were 5.5 million units short. It is supply and demand.
Yeah. You can't be that far behind that long and not have an issue.
No. I mean, Roberto, are you running into the same thing?
I mean, yeah, you're seeing multiple offers everywhere. I mean, it's still a hot market, honestly.
Yeah, it is still a hot market. So moving on, the single-family unit construction, they kind of charted out, and that the 13 straight years we were below the 50-year average. That's another way of looking at it. I haven't looked at it this way. So looking at the long-term average of the last 50 years, the last 13, we were below that construction average. The other aspect is the pandemic's impact on the housing market, because there has been an impact. There's no doubt about it. So a recent article from Realtor.com explains last month the number of home listings dropped 26.8% compared with the same time a year earlier. That meant there were about 177,000 fewer homes listed in what's already a typically slower month due to the holiday cold weather.
Yeah. What else can I tell you?
No comment.
Yeah, it's like...
I mean, how do you... It's a lot of homes, and
Yeah.
it's been a problem.
It has been a problem, and that
it's gonna be a problem for a while. I mean, I don't see any solutions to just.
Well, I'm hoping because everybody held back, I'm looking at sellers starting to come around now.
Yeah.
Starting to list.
Danielle Hale, chief economist at Realtor.com, shares this. We expect that we'll start to see a turnaround and inventory will stabilize and start to go up a little bit in 2022. But that means we're looking at inventory levels of roughly half of what we saw before the pandemic. For buyers, the market is likely to continue to move fast. If you see a home you like, you want to jump on it right away. Roberto, do you think this is going to cause prices to go up faster than we were anticipating? I mean, we were all throwing around a 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna probably similar situation in 2020. I mean, with less inventory, I mean, I still see,
You mean 2021?
2021, yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
We're still in that moment where you're thinking last year.
Yeah. Still.
It's 2022, so.
Yes, we haven't moved on to that 2022 yet. So.
Yeah.
All right, so it's.
I'm wondering, though, when you comment about that, I'm wondering if the interest rates going up, which they have now, if that's going to work at slowing that rise. Maybe not to the double-digit craziness we had last summer.
It's an interesting concept. The interest rates going up.
But it's not much. I don't think it's gonna be since it's a very strong demand. I don't know. I
don't think it's going to stop it
Yeah,
at
no.
all.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have the root.
Demand is but I'm wondering if it keeps it at bay a little more.
A little bit less, a little bit.
Does it have the reverse effect? Because rates are already seeing around 3.5. Do you see a mad rush of buyers going to the market trying to buy a house before it hits 4%?
If we take up more, I think we'll see that if we get up to like 3.8, 3.7, 3.8, I bet you people start, oh, snap, I gotta go.
I don't think it's going to take that much. I think I think already the 3.5 when they start seeing, because you're not seeing it talked on the media right now. What you're seeing on the media, from what I've noticed, seems to be more of a conversation on the stock market. And the 10-year Treasury's up, so your big tech is down. There's been this correlation, your big tech, Google, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, as the Treasury goes up, as that number ticks up, those stocks have come down, and as the Treasury comes down, those stocks have been going up. That's kind of been like a seesaw effect I've been seeing for a while now, since during the pandemic. Those are your growth stocks. That was the target. That conversation is going to have to move into interest rates at some point, and they're going to start covering the interest rates. And I think once you start seeing that interest rate covered, that's when I start seeing people jump into it. I don't see it on the news yet. I mean, have any of you, Roberto, have you seen it on the news?
No.
Just real brief snippets about it going up.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And that's it. And they're not touching the concept yet, are commenting it yet. So, all right. So with that, the mortgage rates are climbing. Now is the time to act. So right now, Freddie Mac for this year is looking first quarter 3.4, second quarter 3.5. We're already there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're already there. The third quarter 3.6, fourth quarter 3.7. That's where my fourth quarter projection was, 3.7 on rates, I think.
Yep.
And Roberto was 3.6.
Yes.
I'm starting to wonder if I'm low.
I'm going to hang in there at 3.7.
I think I went too low, honestly. I think it's gonna.
Oh, I think you went too low.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind. You were dreaming like, oh yes, please keep it for 3.6. My buyers want 3.6. I mean, it's like you were at a craps table hoping, come on, 7. I mean,
I'm not trying to jinx it, so 3.6. Yeah.
just because you say it doesn't make it true. But yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to be a lot more closer to 4 at the end of the year.
We'll see.
Interesting.
I think we got a lot of living to do this year before. There's a lot of ups and downs going on. It's
So-
too erratic.
There is something that has me concerned that could affect the real estate market. We keep talking about, the rates are going up. No, that's not going to happen. The foreclosures are up. No, they're not. That's a myth. The foreclosures aren't up. We talked about it in the last show. There's only been a 1% increase. The foreclosures are at like 1% of the market, not increase. It's like 1% has been distressed sales in the last year. The part that's got me concerned is as interest rates go up, historically, you look to usually go into a recession because as rates go up, that means it's more expensive for businesses to borrow money. That means you can push yourself into a recession because jobs could be laid off. People could be laid off. And if people get now, we already have a shortage of employees.
I was just going to say, we have a shortage of employees.
But those jobs could dry up. Those employees could fill those jobs at the same time. That could hit it. And that part's going to cover itself. I think the aspect could be from the inflationary number because last quarter, the consumer had a wage growth of negative 2.9, 2.8%. They got a good bump in their pay, but the problem is since inflation was higher than what their pay bump was, they came out behind.
Yeah.
And that could be what starts impacting. All right? Now, that doesn't mean people aren't going to buy houses. That just means instead of them buying a $300,000 house, they're going to buy a $250,000 house. But if that house doesn't exist because of the inventory short, there's where the part I haven't filled in yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I need to be in a room, with smarter people. I'm not that smart. I'll say it.
Well, it's not your expertise.
Mine is pricing a house.
Right. Not pricing the economy. You're not an economist.
No, I'm not.
You don't play one on TV.
Nope. And I don't even have Terry Trotter Early's crystal ball she wishes she had. Oh, wait. I don't have a crystal ball. She never has a crystal ball.
Never has a crystal ball.
Never has a crystal
Get a
ball.
hold of a crystal ball.
So give me lottery numbers if you find that crystal
I
ball.
will.
So, all right.
All over it.
So with that, there's no doubt right now is a great time to buy because the inventory, even though we got inventory shortages and we're already in competitive market, we're still in a decent position for our current rates. We're under 4%.
Yeah. So historically, we're still low. Houses are still affordable.
Yes. And you're going to have a better shot now than you are, I think, March, April, and May in that highly competitive market.
Yes, agreed.
So, all right. One more on this. National Association of Realtors says mortgage rates surged in the second week of the new year. The 30-year fixed mortgage rate rose to 3.45 from 3.22. I was a month off on my prediction. I'm just saying. And I'm still holding that I had the right number, 3.5. We had an article that said 3.5 in December. If inflation continues to grow at the current pace, rates will move up even faster in the following months. And yeah, it's right now is the time to buy. If you're looking to buy, you're going to save yourself a lot of money if you can just cut an eighth or a quarter of a point off your mortgage. All right, sellers, don't wait until the spring market hits. The number of homes on the market is still low, and that's one reason why you want to act now. Today's limited supply of houses for the sale puts sellers in the driver's seat. So if you're looking to sell your house, on the flip side of the coin, now's the time to sell.
Oh, yeah. You're writing your own ticket at this point. What do you need? Because buyers are ready to accommodate.
This is like the gold rush. I mean, take advantage. I mean,
Yeah.
That's an interesting point of view on this. This is like the gold rush. And when you look at the fact that most buyers made an average of $50,000 or better last year, I mean, that kind of is a gold rush.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way. I really didn't. So
Yeah, good analogy. Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right.
All right, your equity is growing in record amounts. So the average homeowner gained, here we go, $56,700 in equity over the past 12 months, according to CoreLogic. Another reason why to sell, while rising mortgage rates are still historically low, they are going up. The average in the 2000s, 6.27. The average in the 90s was 8.12. I wonder if we could get back to, I could see us getting back to 6. I don't know if we could get back to 8. That would be.
Let's hope we don't go back to 8.
I mean, I don't know.
Your savings accounts will go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not right away, but maybe like
I
5
know.
years. I probably can see that 8, maybe. Just because it's still low. I mean, we're at 3.
I can't
5?
imagine. It would take a while. You're right.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if we'd get back. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but I would make the assumption because of technology and automation, like I've said it before, I think the rate, one of the reasons they can run these low rates is their cost of doing business has to be lower. You don't have that person that has to manually pick up that 3-inch file and carry it from one area of the office over to the other area or to another building where the underwriter's at. You know, so for the lending side, the technology, I mean, of just being able to email the file.
well, and not only picking up the file literally, but running it through auto underwriting, communications with your buyers and other people. It's all tech. It's a lot faster. You can go through a lot more files.
So home prices are going to keep rising. It's another reason to sell. But you know what? You got to look at your flip side too. If your sales going up, so is your buy, and the rate's going up. So if you're looking to sell, I think it's better to make the move now while the rate's lower. You get into the next house, whether it's your dream house, it's your step up, it's your step down, whatever it is. I think it's better to make the move now and start getting the equity in the new property. Use that equity you have to get in. So, I mean, do you agree or disagree with the logic on it, Nancy?
I totally agree. I mean, now's the time to right size. You're going to use that equity you made in the last couple of years. Yes, prices have gone up, but because of interest rates, this is the time to right size that property.
Roberto,
or relocate or do whatever you're going to do.
what do you think, Roberto?
I think you're pretty right. Hit the nail on the head. You know, even though you can sell pretty high, you're gonna end up buying high with interest rates rising, home prices rising. I mean, I think right now it's the perfect time to make your move, because if you wait too long, you're not gonna get as good of a deal when you buy.
There's one more part of this. It's the human element. It's the living. If you're not happy in your house, then it's time to move. Last year proved life is way too short to me. I squeeze every little bit of drop you can out of it. And if you're ready to downsize and you want to downsize, then do it. If you don't, that's fine. Stay in your house.
You might be looking for more, instead of an open floor plan, you might be looking for something a little different. You might be looking to add a home office. You might be looking for a park close to your home because your kids are older, a little bit older now, and can go play and they want to play at the park. I mean, for whatever reason, like you said, why would you put it off?
You might want a mountain climbing wall for your 5-year-old to practice on because he won't stay off the furniture. Oh, that's a personal thing. So
That too.
I want that too. That sounds pretty cool.
It does sound kind of fun. Can
Yeah.
I play?
of course you could. So who wouldn't want a mountain climbing wall? All right, let's move on. Take a look at Romeoville. We haven't looked at Romeoville in a while. These are numbers as of December 21st. So the 12 months will give us the full look of what happened last year. So In December, the new listings were 21 new units, 17 under contract. Median sales price, $280,000 in Romeoville. Average sales price, $273,000, 517. The median sales price was up 21.2% month over month, and the average sales price was up 18.6% month over month. Now, the trailing 12, the median sales price in the trailing 12 is up 13%. The percentage of list price received is up 13.9%. In December, Romeoville was getting 100.4% of asking price. Average market time 29 days, and they finished off with 24 units for sale. And Roberto, is there anything up there that's really jumping out in your mind?
The 100%.4. I mean, that's a pretty. It was low, but I mean, it's still pretty high, because there's other markets that's at 99, 98, like Joliet. Yeah, it still seems a bit high.
Well, and the thing that looks out, we talk about this all the time, 24 single-family homes available for sale at the end of December. Population I'm seeing online, 39,747. And there's only 24 houses for sale in Romeoville.
Jesus,
That's a lot of nothing.
Yeah, it's a lot of nothing.
It's a lot of nothing.
It's like, okay, where are they going to? I mean, they need to build. All right, on the attached side, you are looking at a median sales price, $211,500, up 8.5% on the median, month over month. The average is $212,408. That's up 8%. Percentage of list price received is 99.7%. That is a zero change month over month. But when you look at the trailing 12, which in my view tells you what they did over the last year. Median sales price on the attached is $209,875, up 12.2%, and the average is $210,270, up 11.8%. So, trailing 12, a percentage of original list price received, 100.1. And on the single family, it was 101.8. So, finally, there was 10 units in December. So, for the whole city, either for attached or detached, there was 34 units for a city with a population of 39,000.
A whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of
That's a lot back there.
It boggles my mind.
Yeah,
it really does.
It's insane.
And I have to warn my clients when I put them on auto searches that they might not get anything, or they might only get one, because there's that little on the market. They think it's not working, or I really didn't do it.
I got a client that was looking in a price range in an area, and they wanted finished basement with a basement bath. One house has gone out to them in the last 2 months. One house. That's it. That's all there is one house. Now, they got 12 months because they're in a lease, so that's fine.
Yeah.
But still, one.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. So, all right. We're going to take a short break. After the break, I want to talk about achieving the dream of home ownership. So keep it here with Get Real with Eddie. Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. Hey, if you got questions on the market, give Nancy a call. Nancy, what is the best number to reach you at?
My number, 815-545-1162.
And what is that marvelous website?
It is valleedreamhomes.com.
Excellent. All right, so I just got back from state meetings, and this is a big aspect and a big conversation. And I think this is it. I mean, all right, let me phrase it this way. Roberto, what would be the American dream for you? What would you see as the American dream?
I mean, owning a home.
Okay.
Owning a home, that's probably my number one thing. Owning a home.
Owning a home.
Yeah.
Nancy, where would you be at with American dream? What would you say is the American dream?
Oh, well, I've lived it. I can tell you for sure. It's owning a home.
And, I think from a real estate point of view, that's what we do. We make the American dream happen. And it's not just home ownership. It's also business ownership. There are so many people out there that have that desire to have their own business and have their own stuff. So our commercial side might be helping them, maybe not with a purchase of a property, but getting a lease to maybe put that bakery in place, to put that, a business in place, whatever it may be, heating, air, no matter what. These are some of the aspects that we make happen on a regular basis. And, a lot of people wonder, where do you start? So, I mean, Roberto, if you were looking on the home side, because that's what we do primarily. I know I do a little bit of commercial, but on the home side, where do you start?
What do you mean? Where do I start at?
In getting that home, making that home possible. Where would you start at?
Just talking with an agent.
Okay, where would you go, and what would be the first thing you'd have a client do after they talk to you? And let's say you get
a pre-approval. Go talk with the lender. Get a pre-approval.
Get that pre-approval,
Yeah.
And I think that's thing. Anything beyond that, Nancy, of starting off.
I think I would even I do instruct my clients, even before that, to decide where they want to be, what's important to them, whether it's a commute to work or schools or anything like that, their needs as far as the house, what do they need? 2-bedroom, 4-bedroom, how many baths, what do they see themselves at, their lists of must-haves, their lists of wants, deal breakers. I don't want to live by the railroad tracks. I don't want to live on a busy street. Whatever those deal breakers are, I get them thinking about those things first.
I think the other added to that is then you've got them on a financial path. They're working with a lender. Hopefully that way they get any credit issues addressed. That stupid phone bill that says, oh, you owe us $500. No, I don't. Get off my credit. You got to get them kicked off. This is why you do your credit checks early. You get them on that search, you get them ready. They're seeing what the market's out there. But then it's saving up for that down payment. I think that's a step after that, where they need to figure out, and that's why they talk to the lender. Do they need 3% down, 3.5%? 5, 10, 20? Do they need to do a down payment assistance program? Are they going VA or a USDA loan where there's no down payment necessary? There's all these different options and things out there. And those are the things that, you want to do to get them on the path to home ownership. And address those weak spots that are in the credit report. I mean, and get that done early, because then you're going to be a strong offer. And hopefully in those multiple offer situations, you're the one coming out on the first try. You don't have to write 6, 7, 8 offers, and stay within your budget. That's the other aspect, especially if you're in a multiple offer situation, you're going to be paying, full price or more. Doesn't mean you're overpaying necessarily, but you are going to be paying that. So you need to stay in your budget. You can't be going to the top end of your budget and then trying to go above that. That's, I think, a big key to keep in mind,
Being
too.
realistic about what to expect and size a home and all that just will help that.
So I found this article on Realtor Magazine from last week on the 18th, and that is buyers may find opening with mortgage credit. And it said mortgage credit availability loosened in December, even as house hunters continued facing higher prices and hampering affordability, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. MBA's Mortgage Credit Availability Index posted its highest reading since May of 2021. However, the credit availability is still 30% below pre-pandemic levels. That's an interesting aspect, that you're seeing credit open up, but we are still a little bit lower in the available credit when it comes to what's out there, from a loan and a lending standpoint. Mm-hmm. And I think this is a big, big issue. I don't understand what would have been the hold off. And I can't think of a reason, whether it's pandemic or not. Why would you cut? Well, people were worried about a recession and loss of jobs and all of that at the beginning.
Yes. Yep.
I don't understand why we're 30% below credit availability still. I mean, we should be, I don't know if the lending aspect's tighter than it was. There was some changes with Freddie and Fannie during the pandemic.
That's true. They did readjust things a little bit.
So, the MBA also notes a 34% increase in jumbo credit availability. So for jumbo loans that's out there. So I think this is a rather big issue is on this, somebody's got to be willing to make the loans and give out the credit to keep that market moving forward. And if they're not giving out loans, and if that money supply is tightened, that is an issue.
Yeah. So they have to keep the water flowing, the money flowing.
The credit supply index in December with growth across both conventional and government segments of the market. Joel Kane, MBA's Associate Vice President of Economic and Industrial Forecasting, said in a news release, December's growth was driven more by ARM and lower credit score loan programs, which was likely due to a combination of rising rate environment and affordability challenges. Lenders expanded offers to qualified borrowers who were the most impacted by these market conditions. Additionally, there were an increase in government streamlined refinance programs to aid borrowers still looking to refinance before rates rise even more. So they are addressing it, and they're addressing it as much as they can as they move forward. So hopefully we'll see those credit markets open up more, so more people can get into home ownership. 25509 West Rocky Creek Road is a listing I have. This is a 4-bedroom. I still got that bronchitis, folks.
3.5 bath.
Thanks, Nancy. 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 3-car garage, 2-story, 3,237 square feet. This thing is huge. So, and this is the Sequoia model in Creekside Crossing that has the Jack and Jill bedrooms. And one of the bedrooms also is a first floor bedroom with its own bath. This property is awesome. I mean, I think you got a first floor bathroom, you've got Jack and Jill. It really punches a lot of boxes.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is definitely a very awesome property. You got quartz countertops, as always, in all of the Creekside Crossing properties. The bedrooms are great sizes. You've got a dining room and breakfast area layout. And again, you're all within walking distance. Honestly, you can walk through Mather Woods 1 mile and you're downtown Plainfield.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That's a nice setup to be able to just walk and go that route. So, I'm seeing a move towards new construction.
Oh, have been seeing it because there's very little on the market, and these construction companies, builders are totally going crazy.
Well, and they're giving delivery dates of September-ish on the late end right now. So they're 9 months out, and people are still okay with it. They don't have to deal with a multiple offer. They've got a rough approximation when the house is going to be ready.
And they're building to suit their own tastes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot to be said for building a house.
Yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I'd probably build my own house. I mean, that's just my opinion. I want to have my style. I want to build my own house, you know. That's just me, though.
Well, and there's something about that American dream of building a brand new house and you're the first person to live in it. That we just talked about the American dream. I mean, that's just that uniqueness of having that. We're the only people that have ever lived in this house.
Yeah.
So, all right. So check out the properties at Creekside Crossing. They're not getting cheaper. They just went up $2,000. List price is $587,658 on this one. So yeah, definitely want to check it out. All right, keep it here. After the break, we are going to talk a little bit about Fannie taking a stand on condo repairs. Keep it here with Get Real with Eddie. Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. Hey, if you got questions in the market, give Roberto a call. Roberto, what is the best number to reach you at?
It is 815-995-5433.
And what's that website for yourself?
Casaswithroberto.com.
Or you can give me a call at 815-823-5478. Or check out my website at yourdwellings.com. Don't forget, you can look at that site and go right there and hit seller and get a quick estimate of your property value at any time. So, wanted to look at Fannie because they are taking a stance on this condo needs repair. And I got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of government intervention, but I do support Fannie on doing this. They're funding these loans. They have a right to make sure that the money they're lending out is, going to be covered and protected. And I do agree that they have a right to make sure that the suitable requirements for property are done. So for those that don't know, this is coming out of the deadly issue that happened at the Chaplin Towers in South condo buildings in Surfside, Florida. I know many of us saw them online where the water was like running. Was it into the basement or out of the basement? I don't remember.
I think it was running out of the basement from the parking because it was.
But then all of a sudden the building collapsed.
Yeah.
Like half the building fell down.
Yeah.
I mean, it was it was just a deadly accident. And a lot of it goes back to the fact it was deferred maintenance. There were things that needed to be done on the building that got put off. And guess what? Now we got a problem. And you can't do that when you're responsible for other people.
You shouldn't do that anyway because you're investing in your own investment. So you really shouldn't defer things if you can at all possibly not defer them, but especially when you're risking other people's lives.
I agree. Condo and co-ops are an affordable home ownership option in many markets and lifestyle choice for many buyers. Absolutely. Jody Horn, Fannie Mae's Director of Single Family Collateral Risk Management, writes in an October 13th column, with shortage of housing supplies, it's more important than ever to reaffirm our commitment to supporting sustainable homeownership in condo and co-op projects. And they have been a big part of keeping the condo market alive. Because I'm sorry, FHA, at least in Illinois, FHA is checked out. You have to be FHA approved. None of the management companies. All right. So you've got two layers in our market. I see. You've got the HOA board, and that's the residents and their little meeting. But they hire this management company to do all these works and all this stuff for them.
Yes.
The management company doesn't advise the board, or the board doesn't instruct, because the board, it's teachers, it's doctors, it's police officers, it's nurses. They're not housing experts. They don't know the ins and outs of real estate. So they don't know they're supposed to make an application every 18 months to be FHA qualified. So since they're not FHA qualified, FHA won't fund the project. That's caused a huge problem in property values from my point of view, because units that are not FHA approved have struggled, seeing that you have a large percentage of buyers that are FHA approved, especially when it's the buyers that are in that price range for those units. So I'm glad that they're standing in and getting involved. I'd love to see FHA do something to clean it up and make it a lot better. I mean, anything else you could think of on this, Nancy? I know you've done a lot of condos and a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's really hard because, like you said, a lot of these homeowner associations, they're not experts in real estate. They have no idea what they're doing as far as FHA, and perhaps FHA needs to go in and educate more, or there needs to be some kind of better communication.
Yeah, maybe have some, maybe every year or so, have some disclosure documents that they have to go through or something, so everybody can be aware of this, to have the condo updated with, to be FHAs, something along those lines, yeah.
And it's mainly their books. What they're looking for is they want to make sure the condo is fiscally responsible, because FHA got held a lot of bags because the FHA bill wasn't getting, the HOA bill wasn't getting paid, and a lot of these HOAs went to the red really fast, and they got stuck holding a lot. So that's what it really is. It's just a matter of checking a bookkeeping aspect and seeing that you're running a solid system, and you've got your reserves that you're needed and required and all that other stuff. So, I mean, I think it's something they need to look at. All right. Just another quick aspect, talking about that foreclosure tsunami fears or unfounded. They got new data that came out as we wrap up for today's show. But Adam came out with new data looking at U.S. historical foreclosure activities and rates. All right, so forecasted rate, and then the U.S. property foreclosures findings. So 2010 was the most highest unit, 2.8 million basically. All right. And the lowest was 2021, 151,000 units. All right. In 2019, we had 493,000. So we're not even a half. I don't even think we're a third.
I was just going to say, that's not even a third.
Is it even a quarter? I need to break out my calculator. I can't do that math right now. I mean, you're
151,000.
4966 divided by 153. I did that backwards. I should have went the other way around. Divided by 4. So in 2019, it was 493,066. It's 30%. So that's a 30% aspect. We're 30% of the foreclosures of 2019. Now, is it a fair full disclosure, is it fair to even look at 2021's foreclosures, seeing that we had an eviction moratorium and you had individuals that were in forbearance? Is it even a fair number to look at in 2021? Do we need to watch it in 2022?
I think we need to watch it in 2022
Yeah.
because I don't think it's fair because of the forbearance
I
and
agree as well. Just because of the moratorium and all that, I think we have to check for 2022.
yeah.
For the actual numbers.
Do you think that number is going to really jump dramatically?
No.
Okay, so it really doesn't matter to the market. I don't think it'll go over 500,000.
Yeah,
Likely.
I really don't think it'll even go that high.
Last we knew, it was 1 million units still in forbearance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but people are coming out, and the market's so hot. If they need to sell, they can sell.
Yeah.
So I don't see it being a big problem.
I agree.
They got tons of equity last year. If they're in trouble, they can sell and get out of it.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, well, that wraps it up for Get Real with Eddie. Hey, don't forget, check us out online at getrealwitheddie.com. And if you got questions, give us a call at any time. We'd love to help you with your American dream.
Thanks for listening to Get Real with Eddie. Eddie Ruettiger is a realtor at Baird Warner in Plainfield, license number 475141896. Managing broker Steve Engel. For more information on your neighborhood, call Eddie at 815-823-5478 or visit yourdwellings.com.